This is the Xiaomi 15 using the latest chip from Qualcomm, and that's the Snapdragon 8 Elite, built on a 3nm processor. And in this video I'm gonna show you some Genshin impact. But before we start, I just want to show you something, because I do believe it's very important. I really tried everything that I was able to try to be able to measure the FPS, but it simply doesn't really work. So first things first, the native implementation from the developer's option and the power consumption, frame rate, monitor tools simply doesn't show the FPS. It shows the temperature from the chip, the memory, and it does also show the hertz. This is 60 hertz here, this is the refresh rate, but it doesn't really show more than that. I also tried to use Stats, which is actually one of the best apps out there, but it doesn't really work so well with Android 15, and I had also issues with Android 14. Whatever I do here, even trying to turn on the compatibility mode, it just simply doesn't work, and that's so annoying. And then of course I also used the KF Mark tool. I had to load the plugin via ADB, etc., and I was able to get the overlay, but it's not measuring anything. The only option right now is to use PerfDoc, but I don't have credits quota for this, so if PerfDoc guys, we test, if you're watching, just hit me up with some credits to be able to do proper testing. But guys, I didn't really want to give up, so anyway, in this video, you're going to see the Genshin impact, and I'm recording with 60 FPS, so if there are any drops, we have to rely on the best measuring tool out there for FPS, and yes, those are your own eyes. And I know it sounds lame, sorry, if you want to drop the video, just please do it right now. If you want to watch, please, more than welcome. Now, when you click here, it's interesting because we have a default setting for the GPU. We have a setting to save the battery, so you can see here we have this triangle between the picture quality, highest frame rate, battery life, picture priority, frame rate priority, and then also custom. That allows you to go to the highest frame rate, 120. Now, 120 is not available still or yet in the Xiaomi 15, and you can crank up the resolution to the highest one, which I'm gonna do, and I'm also gonna use the highest available setting for the MSAA. So I'm not gonna go for the frame rate priority. I'm gonna choose here this custom setting will make sure that my phone is really pumped to the max. And now, without any further ado, I'm gonna start the game. I also want to show you guys what happens with the phone right now, because right now, well, you know, it's only 35.6. And before I start, I want to show you what the phone does right now, because right now it's like 33 Celsius, and I've been doing some tests in the afternoon, and I can tell you, yes, it's very playable, and this baby, ooh, temperature, remember, I did a benchmark extreme test yesterday, bringing that phone outside with only 5 Celsius and then inside with 25. The idea really is like, just take the most powerful chip and put it in a small form factor phone, and then you're gonna know how effective and efficient this chip is. Because remember, the idea is we don't want really to get a lot of consumption, a lot of watts, a lot of heat, and usually bigger phones have a better cooling implementation. Some people even use it with some pads. I have some pads, but I don't want to use this in the test. And now guys, let me show you the settings that I have in Genshin Impact. Sadly, as I said, I'm not able to get 120 FPS. So I'm using a custom graphics quality setting, because everything really is now pumped to the highest available resolution. Every setting here is pumped to the highest available setting, but again, only 60 FPS. And guys, there is a way to check the FPS, but it's a lame way. From Game Turbo itself, you're gonna get it measuring here. Right now it says 61, but there are some reports that this FPS counter isn't the best, and it's also not presented as an overlay. So the only thing that is left right now for me to do with the Snapdragon 8 Elite and with the Xiaomi 15 is just play like for 15-20 minutes and see what is gonna happen. And I do realize that I'm also not very advanced in the game, because usually I don't really play a lot of games on my phones. I'm more like a PC and console player, but nevertheless, the idea is just to see, you know, in 10-15 minutes, probably half an hour, like how hot the phone will get, and then how playable the game will remain. All right, so far, so good. Let's start. There are some nice things inside the Game Turbo. Let me show you right now. I can use a more saturated version of the game, a bright one, and a bright and saturated that really looks like, yeah, complete HDR craziness. So I'm just gonna go from none but you can at least see what this display does. Well, here we do have an indication 61, 62. So honestly, this isn't that bad. I mean, this game was already running good on so many phones, and those are no different. But with the Snapdragon Elite, we just expect to get even better, superior gaming, and of course at very, very high frame rates. All right. Let's see what happens when I fly. 51, so you see it's definitely going below the 60 FPS now with those settings that I have chosen at the beginning. Now everything is really pumped up from the game and also from Game Turbo. It's time to do another check. I can feel some heat in my fingers. 42 and 5 already. And I can tell you the whole phone feels hot. All right. 41 here, also here. 39, but I guess the most heat is somehow here, guys. 42.3. It's time for me to buy a thermal camera because everything else just looks now so goddamn lame. But anyway, this is now where I am at, and you're watching the Genshin Impact on the Xiaomi 15 with the Snapdragon 8 Elite, the latest chip, the latest GPU from Adreno. I'll let you see how this goes. I don't think that the game runs on 60 FPS all the time. I've killed the game and I want to restart it from Game Turbo, and this time I'm just gonna go for frame rate priority. But I can tell you it's not pleasant. I have removed the case and it's not really pleasant to have it 43 in my fingers, so it's really getting hot. But what is to be expected? This is one of the smallest phones out there with the best, most powerful chip. All right, let's just see what happens now. Wow, now I do believe it's a whole different story when I just let some settings down from the Game Turbo 68, etc. This isn't that bad. All right, well, let's see what happens now. Okay. So what happened is I have just toned down some of the settings from the Game Turbo, and now I think it's pure madness. It's pure madness. It was probably the TSA that I pumped up, or probably the resolution, but right now it's, I do believe, a different story. Let me just see how much I'm gonna get. Oh yes, 62 during fight, not bad.
Come a little closer.
So with this small screen, I don't really care if I'm using the highest resolution. Of course, I want to play anyway like HD. This phone, by the way, doesn't have like WQHD or QHD. Somewhere in between, you might want to check my full walkthrough. But right now, I think that I can be happy with the results. So it's definitely better than the first run. It's time to do another temp check. Feels very hot in the hands. 42 here. 42, and remember, I don't even have a case on. With a case, I guess it's going to be even a bit higher than that. And then again, I realized that there are some other areas in the game where the graphics is even more demanding. Let me show you again these three guys. This is a very good opportunity. So right now, we are none. Now it's saturated, and now it's going to be bright, and now it's going to be bright and saturated. Alright, let's play like this a bit. I really love it. Oh, and I can tell you, my hands are somehow burning. Alright, let's engage for a fight.
You're in for a little shock. Come a little closer. Come a little.
Oh my god.
Come a little closer.
The gameplay is very good. This is very playable, I have to tell you. It's really a pleasure, and there are no noticeable lags. And I do believe that I'm starting to enjoy this bright mode. Let me show you again. This is the non mode, like no saturation, no additional brightness. You can, by the way, also regulate brightness from here. You know what? Let's pump the brightness to the max. Okay, no, that's a joke. I don't want that. So let's go again for saturated and a bit pump up the brightness. The graphics is really so good on this game, just love it. Alright, let's do a check here. 61. And let's also try to measure some temps, as now I'm playing like 15 minutes 20. 41, so 41.7, 42. Not that bad, I mean, this was kind of expected. Alright, let's check quickly. 60 FPS again. It's a very lame way to just do it like that. But in the end of the day, guys, this is it. It's the Xiaomi 15. This is the Genshin Impact. And this is the experience that you will get if you have the phone. 41.2, so that's not that bad at all. And remember, I'm using here the Game 2 performance mode. Let's go inside the settings in the battery, and I'm gonna use the performance mode. I'm already using the performance mode from the game turbo, so I don't expect any big differences. Of course, if you want to set some high records, maybe that's not your phone. But my testing here confirms that it's not only just barely playable, it is very much playable. And we don't even drop so much in terms of FPS. And again, I have to use my eyes on this, and you have to take my word for that. But don't do that. Just please also watch with your own eyes. Just also use your eyes and common sense, because in the end of the day, I'm recording this video 60 FPS, and it should be noticeable if we have like severe drops or stutters. "42. And if you are watching just from this moment and you want to why no FPS, make sure to watch the beginning of the video. I already tried everything. The only way that I know right now how to do this is use PerfDoc, but again, no credits. So if you guys from PerfDoc Test watch this, you want to give me some credits, will be nice. Else, yeah, I will have to try to find another way. Alright, now I am here. This city is nice, because I do believe that it's a bit more demanding in terms of graphics. There are a lot of things going on and movable objects. Let's check this quick helper here. 60 FPS. Okay, not that bad. Let's say that's not that bad. I'm now recording for more than 40 minutes, so I guess that I've played at least like 30 minutes. And I do believe that this should be, guys, quite enough for an initial impression. Is this phone doing well? And I know a lot of you are just playing this game, so let me know. See the shadows, the graphics, just very, very good on this phone, right? One last thing I want to do is just climb here on top and enjoy the view, and maybe, why not, maybe just have a flyover. I remember like a year and a half or 2 years ago, can't remember the device, but I was live streaming something with the Genshin and testing a battery. Some of you told me to get here on top of the statue and jump. So if you're watching this, you have not been forgotten, man. And alright, let's do a flyover right now like that. Oh my god! Alright. Yeah, see? I do believe this is, if not 60, it's very close to 60, guys. And I'm gonna do one final temp measurement. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. 40.9. Alright, 41.9, so like 42 Celsius is for sure, and the device is really getting hot. Again, it's without a case. And I would love to hear your opinion in the comments. Again, thank you so much for watching, stay safe, VST over and bye.